Honorable Men Discord. Rest in peace, Michael-Jamal Warner. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification button. So, unfortunately, the world has lost Michael-Jamal Warner, who was known for his role as Theo on The Cosby Show. At the time, I was enjoying a day off, and my sister had texted me, and she told me that he had passed away. And I was shocked because I know he's fairly young. So I was wondering how could it have happened, and she followed up with information about he was on vacation with the family and he drowned. And I just said to myself, man, I can't imagine what his wife is going through, what his daughter's going through, and having to fly back from a vacation without her spouse, for the daughter without her father. And it's just a complete tragedy. But let's get into this news report and I'll speak on it further.
Fans and co-stars are mourning the shocking death of Malcolm-Jamal Warner, the actor best known as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. Costa Rican officials say Warner drowned Sunday afternoon in the province of Limon. According to investigators, the 54-year-old was swept away by the sea's current before bystanders were able to pull him out of the water, but he had no vital signs.
I'll be in my room, Suzanne.
Warner was just 14 when he landed the role that would cement his place in television history, playing the lovably naive Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show.
Look at these sleeves.
Over 8 seasons, Warner's coming-of-age antics became a favorite among fans.
How did you like the real world?
Well, it's a lot tougher than I thought it was. But you know what? So am I.
Warner stopping by today, just before the show wrapped in 1992.
This show has given me a wonderful opportunity to be able to grow and to be able to kind of show what I can do.
He later addressed the show's complicated legacy after its star Bill Cosby was accused and convicted of sexual assault. That conviction later overturned.
The effect that it had on Black people worldwide can never be taken away.
Cosby speaking about Warner overnight, saying he and co-star Felicia Rashad have been remembering Warner.
Malcolm was always embracing relationships with everybody he worked with.
After his early success, Warner kept acting, including alongside Tracy Ellis Ross in Read Between the Lines. On Monday, she wrote, "My heart is so sad. You made the world a brighter place." Beyond his on-screen career, he also worked as a poet and musician, even earning a Grammy. Just last year, he launched the Not All Hood podcast, looking at the experiences of Black Americans, and reflected on today about his life after early fame.
And I've got my head on straight, my soul and dignity is intact. Like, I've had a really wonderful journey.
In one of his final Instagram videos, Warner sending an uplifting message to his fans.
Just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile. Peace and love, and I'll be back soon.
Authorities say it appears that Warner died from asphyxia by submersion, and the source close to Warner says all signs point to this being a tragic accident, as the actor's wife is now trying to get his body back to the United States to prepare for a funeral. Savannah.
All right, Jesse, thank you so much. And for so many people, he felt like part of our extended family.
Truly, I was just saying to you as we were watching that, I was about his age. Remember watching him growing up, think, first of all, he's so cool, but also he was going through all the things I was going through, puberty. Absolutely loved him, as we saw there. So many people did, and just such a heartbreaking tragedy for the family and also for all of his fans out there. We're thinking about them.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Again, rest in peace, Malcolm. Thank you for exemplifying what it is to be a man, what it is to be a black man, on screen and off screen. You know, My condolences to your wife, your friends, your daughter, your family. I mean, it's horrible. It really is horrible for the wife to have to plan funeral arrangements, deal with having him brought over back to the States from Costa Rica. Just horrible, horrible. You know, I appreciate the Cosby Show because I also was raised on the Cosby Show. It was a depiction of black families like no other. Positive imagery, although it was for entertainment and it had comedy within the script. Just positive imagery. I appreciate that. You know, I appreciate Bill Cosby for putting that out there. And I know there's been negative things about Bill Cosby, but I'm here to say, like I've said plenty of times over, there's no perfect man or woman under the sun. All right. And like Tupac would always say, only God can judge. Because God is the one who's going to judge us all in the end, whether you believe it or not. And I thank Bill Cosby for putting out that show and helping help blossom careers, you know. And it's not even just about the careers, it's about the message that he put out there. Because, you know, there's not a lot of shows out there that promote us in a good light, show us as intelligent. Aside from the fact that we're talented, that, you know, we know that we can dance, we know that we can play sports, but the show showed us more than that. It showed us that we can keep a family structure together, we can go through things as a family, but we could be respectful, we could embody positivity. It doesn't always have to be negative. We can be intelligent, we could have class, which is not often shown on television, especially by people of color. So I appreciate the Cosby Show. I appreciate the Fat Albert Show from Bill Cosby, and I don't want to digress, but I just appreciate it. I appreciate it all, and this is a devastating loss. You know, my condolences. I don't know what else to say other than, gentlemen, when you're watching this, just take life seriously, because your day could come when you least expect it. You know, when you least expect it. I did an episode a few months back on, I want to say her name is Kanaki. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but she was the student from Pittsburgh, the Indian student, female, who went away to DR for spring break and never returned home, never returned back to Pittsburgh to finish her studies. You know, her family had to fly out there as they investigated and try to retrieve what may be her body out at sea. But that story came and went because her body was never retrieved, as far as I know. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is, again, gentlemen, take this life serious. You know, tomorrow is really not promised. I know it might sound like a cliche, but it's really not promised. You might be enjoying life because maybe in your early 20s, mid 20s, could be in your 30s, your 40s. I mean, Malcolm was with his wife and daughter on vacation, and who knows who else was out there with them. Maybe it was just them. I don't know the details on who exactly was out there, but the point is, he was with family. He was with loved ones, enjoying vacation, enjoying Costa Rica. You know, when you're in vacation mode, the last thing you're thinking is you're not going to return home. You know, we're so used to thinking because we go to work, we're going to come home from work. Or we go to a party, we're going to come home from the party. We go to visit a family member, we're going to return home from visiting the family member, and so on and so forth. But nothing is guaranteed. So live your life with capital letters. Live your life with capital letters. Be humble, be thankful. Wake up in the morning. If you believe in prayer, pray. Say, thank you for waking me up this morning, God. Thank you for the roof over my head, clothes on my back, shoes on my feet. You know, there's always a reason to be thankful. All right. It's a blessing. Sometimes I have my lows and I have to remember, don't be selfish. You know, I've lost my best friend. He was in his 20s, early 20s. He wasn't even 25. My best friend. Right. So for those moments when I may be feeling down, I have to remind myself. I'm sure he would have liked to still be here. He didn't want to leave when he left. I don't believe that at all. You know? So when these things happen, don't just brush over the news like, oh, I feel bad for him, but that's him. You know? Because it could be you. You know, it could be you. It could be any of us. All right? So condolences again. Very, very tragic, unfortunate occurrence. But this is life. This is life. Take it seriously. Be humble. Be humble. You know, be humble. But that's all I have on this episode. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.